Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for those of you who know, I make content about buying and selling Pokemon cards. Currently, I'm trying to see if I can be a full-time reseller. So drop a like if you like the video and subscribe if you want to see more content from me. And throughout this video, I'm going to be displaying some cards that I've been currently listing in my inventory. So that's, if you see that, that's why. You guys liked that from last time, and I want to give you some visuals as we go over some of these numbers. I'm going to be going over how much I've made selling on TCGPlayer. But before I do that, one quick last thing about the card scanning is that some of you guys have asked me about that, and it's just the TCGPlayer app, which you can do it on your phone, have a stand, scan on that. However, I would be advising you to keep a close eye on it because sometimes it's not 100% accurate and it mixes things up. It thinks it's something else, which is definitely not. I've seen that a lot. So keep your eye on it. It's not magical and it needs pretty good lighting. So a couple 2 cents from that. Okay, so heading into the main topic of this video. How much money did I make selling Pokemon cards? Now, I recently started taking this a little bit more serious. I had a bunch of cards laying around, but I have been buying recently. If you want to sell me your Pokemon cards, reach out to me at collectingcommunity@gmail.com. But anyways, I've been taking it more serious, and I've been keeping track of my expenses. Right now, this is Monday, April 8th. It's solar eclipse day. There's a solar eclipse around the US, but in Washington it's always cloudy, so we're not going to see anything out here. So in this solar eclipse day, I'm going to be sharing how much I've made selling Pokemon cards, and I'm going to try to display the numbers here. I also printed this out as well so that I know and I can be more accurate, right, instead of trying to go based off memory. All right, so I've sold $421 worth of Pokemon cards. Wow. Imagine if it was my own platform. That would be amazing in a week, selling that much. But if it was my own platform, I would also have to pay for advertising and all that. Anyways, I've sold that much through TCGPlayer. And they took some fees, of course, as their platform. I just mentioned they have to pay stuff. They took $130 worth of fees. Wow. So there we go. One of the very first things that doesn't make this quite as worth it is the fees, right? There's always going to be fees on anything that you do, though. Just keep that in mind. So $130. Now we're at $292, right? From 421, almost 420. We'll take that as a major win. Minus the fees goes down to $292. Now there is shipping amount of $101. What does that mean? When you make a sale from TCGPlayer, or when you buy something from TCGPlayer, at least in my store, if it's less than $5, then you're gonna pay $1.22 for shipping and handling, really. So $1.22. All that accumulates to all these orders of 278 orders of $101 is what TCGPlayer got from the buyers for me to ship out these cards to make up for that. Now, a couple of things I want to say about that is $1.22 that TCGPlayer collects is actually pretty high for my expenses. And if I went over every single thing that I pay for to ship out a card, let me go over that. 68 cents for a stamp. I buy tape. If we count up how much little bit piece of tape goes in each individual card, let's say 2 cents. I do put sleeves, but I haven't bought sleeves in a while. I bought some in the very beginning. I've been reusing them, and lots that I buy also have sleeves. So I use tape. I do have cardboard backing that I buy, cut up. And the reason I do that is because I found that to be the cheapest alternative to the top loaders cost double as much. So my card backing is 6 cents. So you take the 68 cents for stamps, add the 2 cents for tape, add the 6 cents for backing, and the card, let's say, take your average card that I pay $15 for 1,000, so a cent. And then there is a little bit more involved into it as well. Like if I was going to send out an order that had multiple backings, that would obviously increase the price. But this is like if someone just ordered one card or 10 or less cards that I could just put in one backing, right? It would come about 78 cents that it takes me to ship out an order. Like I mentioned, TCGPlayer collects $1.22. They also include labor as part of that. They include, if you're paying someone $15 per hour and it takes them, I don't know, a couple seconds to pick out some cards, right? And you accumulate all that. They actually, TCGPlayer counts for that when they collect $1.22. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is that my overall cost is actually 78 cents. So from the $101 that TCGPlayer collects, I'm actually spending about 60% of that, so about $60. So if you take that, the $292, and you take how much I'm actually spending on shipping out these cards, I came across $232 of pure profit for me going in my pocket at the end of the week. Now, it doesn't account obviously the amount of hours that I put into it, and if the price of the product, if it was more, obviously that would eat up some of this. But let's say $232 at, let's say, right, everything went well and we got $232 for that week. I've actually put in a lot more work this week than your 9 to 5 job, right? Your 8 hours per day, because I've been trying to get my store at a specific place, and I've been also buying a lot of bulk and high-end cards for myself as well. So I've been just trying to sell, which is something that I really like about having this type of business. If you really want to put in a lot of work one day or not a lot of work one day, you have that flexibility to do so. So $232 for a week is not great. I would want to be around $640 to be able to say that I could do this full time. So I need to find a way to triple this. However, in this week, 2 or 3 days were a wash. One of those days, I messed with my pricing algorithm, and that messed things up. It just increased the price of everything so high, so I didn't get many sales that day. I fixed that. And another couple of days I was sorting and converting my inventory system, so I wasn't listing cards. So I feel like if I actually did list cards every single day of that week, I would have made more, 300 maybe for that week. But I still need to find a way to double it, which is not an easy feat. If I'm being honest, recently I've added more cards, right? I'm around 21,500 cards or so in my inventory. I have been seeing a lot more sales, and it has been taking a lot more time. So usually before, when I had my 20 or so sales per day, I could maybe not have to ship cards that day, because the TCGPlayer gives you 48 hours to ship them 2 days. So I'll ship them the next day, and that would be fine. But now I can't actually do that, because if I leave orders and they're like 30 or 40, for the next day, it is going to be, I'm going to be there all day. So I am seeing the pressure that it brings with these amount of orders. But I feel like I could double it. And also something that I mentioned in one of my channels, one of my videos, about if you were going to do this full time, which I don't recommend, because the amount of time, right, you can find something to do that will make you more money for sure. But the one thing I mentioned is that the more you add to your inventory, the more you should expect to make per day, because you have more cards that people can possibly choose from, right? More inventory. Master sets are more of a possibility. Play sets are more of a possibility. So that's a little bit about this video of how much I made. I don't really think it's worth it if you were going to like try to maximize how much profits, right? Get as much money as you can for your work. This wouldn't be it. But in the long run, and it still hasn't answered my question, can I do this full time? I just started, so I'm still going to continue. This is my first week of actually keeping track. I'm curious to see what it would be at the end of the month, right? With all my expenses and all that. I haven't even covered how much I paid for stamps out of this total. So, and I don't want to do that yet because I didn't use up all the stamps. So it'd be more fair to do that at the end of the month. But yeah, drop a like if you like this. Subscribe to see more of this content. I appreciate you guys as always. And I'll see you next time. Later.